Imagine a bamboo tube filled with gunpowder shattering the myth of invincible castle walls, or a weapon so effective it made knights obsolete overnight. This isn't fantasy, this is the story of military innovation. Throughout history, certain weapons didn't just win battles. They forced humanity onto new, often terrifying paths. Today, we're counting down the 5 most influential weapons that rewrote the rules of war and shaped the world we know. By the end, you'll see which invention still shapes modern conflict. Centuries later, buckle up. Let's journey through the most violent turning points in the history of conflict. Our story begins on the Central Asian steppes, birthplace of the composite bow, a weapon that built the Mongol Empire. Unlike simple wooden bows, the composite bow was a marvel wood, horn, and sinew, layered for maximum power and compact enough for horseback. Mongol horsemen could unleash armor-piercing arrows from a distance, outmatching any opponent. Their tactics were revolutionary, swirling, mobile, raining death from all directions, never letting enemies close the gap. This wasn't just a weapon, it was a way of life, enabling small nomadic forces to conquer vast empires. The psychological impact was devastating. How do you fight an enemy you can't reach? Empires built massive walls like the Great Wall of China in desperate defense. The composite bow's synergy of technology and tactics made it the ultimate equalizer. It allowed steppe nomads to dominate, from the Scythians to Genghis Khan's Mongols. The bow's legacy, a small mobile force, could topple ancient wealthy civilizations. It wasn't the most complex weapon, but it was perfectly suited to its users. The composite bow broke armies, shattered empires, and changed the map of the world. It forced a revolution in military thinking and defensive architecture. The world would never be the same after the Mongol bow thundered across the plains. The age of the horse archer was the first great military revolution, and it all started with a simple, deadly innovation. Next, we sail to the besieged city of Constantinople, where the Byzantine Empire survived for centuries thanks to a terrifying secret Greek fire. Imagine facing a weapon that spewed liquid fire, burning even on water, impossible to extinguish, unstoppable in battle. Greek fire's exact formula is lost, but it was likely a petroleum-based mix, projected by siphons, essentially the world's first flamethrower. This weapon saved Byzantium from annihilation, halting massive Arab invasions and preserving the empire at critical moments. Greek fire was a state secret, tightly controlled and never replicated by enemies. Its psychological impact was immense. Just the threat could deter fleets. The Byzantine navy, outnumbered but armed with Greek fire, dominated the Mediterranean for centuries. Greek fire shows how a single technological edge can save an empire. It was a weapon of terror, legend, and survival. Its loss to history only adds to its mystique, a fiery ghost of a lost empire. Greek fire's legacy, the power of innovation, secrecy, and psychological warfare. Sometimes the right weapon at the right time can change the fate of civilizations, and sometimes its secrets die with the empire it saved. Number 3 answers our earlier question: what killed more knights than any sword? The English longbow, a 6-foot stave of yew wood. The longbow didn't just kill knights, it killed the very idea of the knight. With immense draw weight and years of training, English archers could unleash a storm of arrows, 10 to 12 per minute. At battles like Crécy and Agincourt, waves of armored nobility fell before common archers. The longbow was the weapon of the yeoman, the commoner, toppling the aristocratic warrior class. It forced a revolution. Armies could no longer rely on heavy cavalry charges. Tactics evolved, and the importance of the common soldier soared. The longbow's success contributed to the decline of feudalism and the rise of centralized monarchies. It proved that discipline and technology could overcome social status and brute force. The longbow was a giant killer, changing the face of European warfare forever. It was simple but required a societal commitment to training unmatched by rivals. The age of the knight ended, replaced by the age of the archer. The longbow's legacy, a small island nation, could humble the mightiest kingdoms. Sometimes, the most disruptive weapon is the one that empowers the many over the few. The battlefield, and society, would never be the same. For millennia, walls were the ultimate defense until gunpowder artillery shattered that illusion. Early fire lances evolved into massive siege cannons, culminating in the bombards that brought down Constantinople's legendary walls in 1453. The message was clear: no wall was safe anymore. The age of the castle was over. Artillery shifted power from local lords to kings, fueling the rise of nation-states. Monarchs with siege trains could crush any fortress, ending feudal fragmentation. The cannon forced a revolution in military architecture. Star forts replaced tall stone walls. Warfare became a contest of siege and counter-siege, dominated by mathematics and engineering. The cannon didn't just break stone, it broke the old order. The world moved from decentralized fiefdoms to centralized kingdoms. The threat of artillery changed everything: politics, society, and the very shape of cities. The gunpowder revolution paved the way for the modern state. A simple chemical mixture rendered 1,000 years of defensive strategy obsolete. The cannon's legacy, the end of the medieval world and the dawn of a new era. Walls could no longer protect the powerful. The battlefield and the world was forever changed. At number 1, the weapon that defines modern conflict, the machine gun. Hiram Maxim's 1884 invention turned killing into an industrial process, hundreds of rounds per minute, operated by a handful of men. At first, it was used to suppress colonial uprisings, but its true horror emerged in World War I. Generals sent waves of men into machine gun fire, resulting in slaughter on an unimaginable scale. The machine gun broke the offense, making defense supreme and forcing the invention of tanks, artillery barrages, and air support. It created the hell of trench warfare and the stalemate of the Western Front. The machine gun industrialized death, making the individual soldier a cog in a killing machine. Its principles still shape infantry tactics today: suppressive fire, squad-level dominance, and battlefield control. The machine gun's legacy, the modern battlefield, impersonal and terrifyingly efficient. It forced armies to rethink everything: strategy, technology, and the value of human life. More than any other weapon, it represents the industrialization of war. The world is still living in its shadow. The machine gun changed not just how wars are fought, but what war means. It is the grim architect of the 20th century's battlefields, and its echo still haunts us today. 5 weapons didn't just win battles, they reshaped civilization. From the Mongol bow to the machine gun, each sparked a paradigm shift, discarding old rules for new realities. Today we face new revolutions: drones, cyber warfare, AI. Which will change the world next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more deep dives into the weapons that shaped history. Your engagement helps us keep these stories alive. Thanks for watching Armory Media. See you next time.